Welcome to your 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. And if you're wondering, didn't Hyundai just put out a whole new generation of Santa Fe's a couple of years ago? Yes, you're absolutely right. And to have a mid-cycle refresh done so quickly into the life cycle, it's only been a couple of years, kind of shows how fast Hyundai is working and how competitive the automotive market is, specifically in this crossover/CUV market. So let's do the drive, let's do the outside, let's go to the inside, and that should wrap us up. So under the hood, it's a 1.6 liter turbo 4, and it's 226 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Yes, there is a battery pack as well as an electric motor because it is a hybrid vehicle. So as far as driving dynamics go, I found it to be a little, not weak, but there's definitely hesitation when you put your foot down in eco mode. Putting it into smart mode gets rid of some of that. Putting it into sport mode completely gets rid of that. But when you shut the car off and then get back into it and turn it on, the default drive mode is eco, because it's a hybrid and they want you to save gas and maximize your range and all that stuff. So when I'm in the city, I put it to smart. If I'm on the highway, I'll drop it to eco. And if I really need a boost or to get up a hill or to get out of a collision situation, I will put it in sport, and the dial is right beside the gear buttons, not gear lever anymore, and it's all in this little center console, which we will talk about on the interior portion. So aside from the acceleration being a little weak in eco mode, the drive is relatively quiet once you get up to your cruising speeds. And I'll give you a quick example. So I'm in eco right now, and I will put my foot down all the way and just take a listen. So power all the way up to the far right side, and you hear it. So it's not whisper quiet upon initial acceleration, but again, once you hit your cruising speeds, and whether that's city or highway, quiets right down. So right now I'm in the charge mode. I'm in the EV mode as well, so it's going to be whisper quiet. City driving, done pretty well. Lots of great visibility here out of the front and back windows and side windows. Highway driving, pretty smooth, pretty comfortable as well. I wouldn't say it's a lot quieter than the last year's model, but it's a nice, calm and quiet place to spend time. Cornering handling, pretty good for a SUV that's got a higher stance to it. Jump into fuel consumption on a 67-liter fuel tank of 87 octane. In liters per 100 kilometers, our figures are 7.1, 7.9, and 7.4 for a blended total. Not too bad, considering it's a hybrid. So quick math says not quite 1,000 kilometers, but if you do it right, you run it predictably. You're not going to race up to the next stop sign or stop light, and you try and maximize the EV as much as possible as well with your regen braking. You could probably hover around the 1,000 click mark if you drive, I don't want to say drive right, but if you drive like you're looking to hit 1,000 kilometers out of a tank of gas. Big thing that really helps is there is a 6-speed automatic transmission here, and I would have liked to have seen the 8-speed that they have in other models, but a 6-speed sure beats a CVT for my driving preferences anyways. So thank you, Hyundai, for doing that. And I just find it makes for, to me, a more enjoyable drive. Taking a look at the front end, there is a lot of revisions here. So you'll notice the T-shaped day runners and the big cascading grille. I don't mind it. I don't love it by any means. I think there's a lot going on. It looks really busy to me. Now, it's not as, let's say, polarizing as the Lexus spindle grille, but I just think there's a lot going on, and I'm not really a big fan of it, but it wouldn't be a deal breaker if I was looking to buy a crossover hybrid. Around the rear, same thing. You have the nice vertically shaped taillights. I like the look of the rear a lot more than the look of the front. It just has that nice, clean look to it without being, overly complicated or really busy. Side profile, pretty much unchanged from the 2020 model, this being a 2021. Interestingly, for the 2022s are now available, and they're on Hyundai Canada's website. So I don't think there's going to be any changes from 21 to 22, seeing as they had just changed this. I believe it was late spring or early summer when this Santa Fe Hybrid came out. So overall, looks-wise, front end, okay, side profile, really nice, and the rear profile gets full marks from me. On to the inside we go. So let's start with the big changes. There is no more gear lever. Instead, Hyundai has gone and used their button system, which frees up a lot more space in the center console, which is right down here. There is an 8-inch screen, which is an upgrade from the 7-inch screen, but not as good as the 12.3-inch screen, which is on the gasoline top trim calligraphy. I think that for the top trim, or even both trims on the hybrid, maybe as a way to entice buyers to get in them, they should have gone with the 12.3-inch screen. Not that the 8-inch one is too small, but the bump from 8 to 12.3 is significant. And you'll have seen it in other Hyundai models and other Kia models and other Genesis models. Yes, separate companies, but under the same umbrella. And I like the way the 12-inch screen is laid out, and I like what it does. Looking straight ahead here, higher trims get the full digital dash as opposed to the lower trims, which get, I believe it's a 4.3-inch screen, bookended by the analog dials. And in typical Hyundai form, you have your four different design patterns, which include the cube, which I always liked as a cool way to add some difference to what everybody else is doing as far as design goes. Steering wheel feels good, buttons easy to navigate, get your information out of. My big issue here is it's only wireless Apple CarPlay, and for me it was glitchy, not the entire week. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today being Sunday, where I'd be on the phone and it would just cut out and go to a black screen, and I would be listening to music and through the CarPlay and Spotify, and it would just cut out, go to a black screen, and come back, and I couldn't quite figure out why I was doing it. It happened when I was driving, it happened when I was stopped on the highway and on City Street. So I'm not a fan of wireless CarPlay at all. Seats pretty comfortable, again, heated and cooled on the top trim luxury. I almost said top trim luxury. Good thing I didn't. I guess I did. Anyways, seats are comfortable, heated and cooled. Everything is within reach. So here's my hand. Actually, the middle of my fingers are touching the top of the screen, so I'm not lurching and leaning forward to get to the touchscreen. The quirk here is the speaker covers have the same design as the top of the seats do, and it's kind of that 3D, kind of quilted-y, diamond-y pattern, and I think it looks really, really cool. And I actually only noticed it this morning when I was going around the car, making my final set of notes. All the safety features come here. Let's quick list of them on the screen, and good on Hyundai for making their standard list pretty expansive, comprehensive. Oh, it's a bad day for words. I'm going to blame the rain on this. It's not really an Irk, like maybe a 5% Irk. With the digital dash, I would have liked to have seen the blind view monitor, which is what they have on the calligraphy model, being the combustion one, but so close. Again, with the digital dash, just pop a couple of cameras underneath. Even if you up the price by like $100, couple $100, whatever it is, to have that added sense of security. Tons of cargo space back here. So with the seats up, we're over 1,000 liters of cargo space, and you put the seats down and that number just balloons out. So lots of function to be had here, 60-40 split. So you can fit 4 adults comfortably, the person in the middle seat. As with any vehicle, it's good for short-term stuff, but not really long-term stuff. But the functionality here, with, again, over 1,000 liters of cargo space, with the rear seats up, is really, really good. And I think that it will absolutely help get more Santa Fe's on the road, because it's not only about the driving and the driving feel and the fuel consumption, it's what can you put in the vehicle. And if you're looking at this market, I'd like to think that cargo space does make a difference, and at least is in your primary list of deciding factors. That's going to wrap it up for the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. If you've got any questions on the vehicle, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the support, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to tell somebody about the channel who you think might be interested in what it is that I do. Until I see you again, be well, be healthy, be safe.